Since the dawn of time, we have been obsessed with the ocean. Indigenous paintings from as early as the 12th century depict people surfing, but it wasn't until the late 1950s and 60s that surfing really exploded in popularity due to surf movies, wetsuits, and shorter boards. But as longboards gave way to the shortboard revolution, the fins changed as well. In 1967, Nick and Barry Meadow of San Diego, California, created a longboard with two fins. But it wasn't until the late 1970s when Aussie surfer Mark Richards won 4 consecutive world titles on a twin-fin shortboard that really set things off. In 1980, Australian shaper Simon Anderson was credited with inventing the first 3-fin surfboard design called the thruster. And with that, what we now know as modern surfing had started. There is some debate about who invented the 4-fin surfboard or the quad in the 1980s. But Kelly Slater, 11-time world champion, is really who made quads popular. Quads work really well in hollow, barreling waves, and they're very fast surfboards. They work well in big waves and in small waves, which makes quads a great option for a single quiver or an everyday board. Good morning, Vibe Nation. Welcome back to the channel. Surfers' mornings are kind of crazy because sometimes you think you're gonna surf and the conditions just don't cooperate and you end up not paddling out. And some mornings you think you're gonna decorate the house for Christmas, and then all of a sudden, thinking the conditions were gonna be poor, the wind's a little bit more manageable, the size is a little bit bigger, and there's possibly a little bit of a window, so we're gonna check Surfline and see what's going on. With yet another wind event, I'm super surprised to see some of the spots are looking kind of fun this morning. Let's see. There's definitely some lump and bump out there. Tide's gonna be rising fast. I honestly think the call is gonna be, let's head straight down to the beach, get in the water, and test this quad out. I have no idea what to expect. Never ridden a quad in my life. I have only rode single fins, twin fins, and thrusters, so this is gonna be a completely different experience for me. 2 weeks in a row of riding new boards that I have never ridden, one that has a completely different fin setup. So I'm a little nervous about it. I have no idea what it's gonna feel like. I'm assuming a little loose and skatey, but a little bit more sturdy than a twin fin, but who knows? All I know is it's gonna be a vibe. So we're gonna get down to the beach, keep fueling up on coffee. Huge shout out, Miley's gonna come down and film with us yet again. Make sure you guys drop a comment below. Thank Miley for filming. Let her know how she's doing, and if you want to keep seeing her film, because she jumped on 3 weeks ago with a camera that she never used before, out in cold mornings, things that she's not used to, so I'm really appreciative of her being involved in the vlog lately, and it's really helping me out. So huge shout out to her, huge shout out to you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you like these videos, make sure you hit the subscribe button. If you're not already subscribed, like these videos and comment if you like them. I love responding to all comments, but as you can see, we got a beautiful morning. The winds aren't too bad. We're gonna pick this up at the beach in just a sec. gosh, guys and girls, Vibe Nation, how fun was that surf? What a blast, 2 weeks in a row to take out 2 brand new boards, never been surfed on, but this week upping the vibe level and taking out a style of board that I've never rode before. A couple things that I do want to say about the quad. First off, fast. Maybe not quite as fast as the Stevie board, but definitely super fast without having that center fin down the middle that causes a little bit of drag, which does help with stability in the wave. By having that open channel and water just kind of like funneling through there, even in really flat sections of the wave, I found myself kind of out-racing and outpacing the section that I wanted to be in. So that's something that with a quad you're going to want to work on, is really trying to keep yourself slowed down when you need to be slowed down and speeding up when you need to speed up. And trust me, on a quad you are not going to have any trouble hitting the gas. But it was an absolute blast. Definitely when I put the board on rail, different than the twin fin by having 4 fins. When that center fin on the thruster would have come up out of the water a little bit, it had more stability than the twin fin, which has no second fin on the side, and it just felt a little bit sturdier. Loose, but sturdy, if that makes sense, which is a complete vibe. So I really felt comfortable on it, and with not having as extreme of a high tide this morning as we've had the last couple weeks, it was a lot easier of a first session than last week with the Stevie hybrid soft top. But a couple things I do want to mention that went down in the session. First off, dropped in on that guy on the longboard. I did apologize to him, as you guys probably could tell in the water, and then super fun to snag a wave when we were paddling back out. But I do want to mention that as you guys saw in the clip, as you're probably looking at it right now, I do look to my left and I see the longboarder kind of going left, which gave me the clear, like, all right, I'm good to go right. And took off and went right and was getting ready to actually do a cutback. And honestly, I had the leash of my board under my back foot, which caused me to look down. And when I looked down to kind of adjust my foot to get the leash out from underneath, I saw him behind me, so I gave the little wave and kicked out and, you know, said I was sorry. So no harm, no foul, and he seemed stoked on, you know, if I would have cut back, maybe a little high five action or whatever, but super fun. And then a couple of those waves getting ending sections and being able to finish them. The first wave could have gone a little more critical on my hit, but I thought about that on this second wave and wanted to make sure that I kind of pushed the fins a little bit and tried to get a little more pop out of my turn, which a little more spray out the back, and it looked a little spicier, so it felt good. And then that one left with 4 little cutbacks, I will say that it was probably a little squirrely under my feet, and I really needed to figure out how to tighten that up a bit, make sure that I'm staying in the right spot of the wave. I think I kind of get in like a little bit of a flow, and I start to think about how I don't want to wipe out when I should be focusing more on what I'm really doing on the wave, and I think it kind of showed in that wave. So I'm excited to take that board out a few more times and see how much better I can ride it after a couple more surfs. So yeah, Vibe City. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Been love making these videos. It's been fun these past few weeks having a couple of new boards to ride. We have another thing going on next week. You're not going to want to miss this upcoming episode. It's definitely going to be a vibe. But I am cutting you guys free. You guys know the deal. Remember, click right here to subscribe and right here to watch more videos. And I'll catch you guys on the next vibe.
Let it go. 얼어붙어 like whoa. 띵하고 어지러워. I see. 한여름에도 난 겨울. Yeah, 가요 콜라. Yeah, 너와 있을 때 I swear. 제가 먼저 zero 폭설한 게